Today is the deadline for 6 television evangelists to turn over their financial records to Congress. Bishop Eddie Long has just announced his ministry will cooperate with the investigation of possible abuse of federal nonprofit tax laws. Benny Hinn, Joyce Meyer, and Randy and Paula White have also indicated they are turning over their financial records to Senator Charles Grassley's committee. But Reverends Kenneth Copeland and Creflo Dollar say they're ignoring today's deadline. Senator Grassley has threatened to issue subpoenas for the records of any church that does not surrender them voluntarily. Well, Ken Behr joins us now from Washington. He's the president of the Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability, a group that shows Christian organizations how to earn the public's trust when it comes to finances and stewardship. Well, Ken, why did Congress start this investigation?
Well, going back about 4 months ago, there was inquiries of these six individual churches. But really, you have to go back years before that. The Senate Finance Committee has a long-standing tradition of doing these types of inquiries with nonprofits.
Well, you have encouraged the ministries to cooperate and turn over their financial records. Why?
Well, basically, their financial records. That's exactly right. The IRS, the Senate Finance Committee, which writes the rules, along with the House Ways and Means Committee that write the rules for the IRS, has some regulations on hand that they want to get to the heart of. They want to find out whether or not these ministries are not only receiving compensation, but the executives in charge of the ministries are paying taxes on all of their compensation.
But of course, as you know, churches are tax exempt and not required by law to publicly disclose their finances. Some pastors fear this could affect the privacy of every church in America. For example, Creflo Dollar told his church members that, quote, "We simply must do everything within our power to protect our church and its members from public scrutiny and a congressional evaluation of the validity of our beliefs." So is that a good reason, Creflo Dollars and others, is that a good reason for them not to comply?
Well, it's really their decision, one way or the other, and I understand that. And I certainly have a respect for people that understand the importance of the First Amendment and our religious liberties. I support that as well. However, really, when you take a look at the inquiry and the types of questions that were being asked, most of the questions got to the heart of things like executive compensation, who sets the rules for the executive compensation, and whether or not taxes have been paid. You know, I served as an administrative pastor at a large church just a few years ago, and there was a number of different regulations that the church is required to follow. Things like whether or not we had permits that were pulled in order to have an addition, what color churches can sometimes be built, whether or not their parking was adequate. So there's a number of regulations that churches already comply with, and that we don't worry about the freedom of religion.
Well, Ken, does this mean that they could end up getting into some sort of trouble if they don't comply, or can they stand on that First Amendment?
Well, I think that's possible. You know, Senator Grassley and Mike Baucus, who's the chair of the committee right now, have both sent a letter out saying that they're encouraging these ministries to comply right now while it's under an inquiry stage, and those subpoenas are being offered. There's two advantages to that. One is that there is a guise, at least, of confidentiality. We understand that Washington is a sieve and that things do leak out, but right now the Senate Finance Committee is promising that any information that's turned over to them will be confidential, and churches like the confidentiality. The other thing is that because no subpoenas are being presently ruled, there's no possibility of contempt sightings. Now, with a subpoena, you can be held in contempt, which is an offense that is jailable, actually, if the right actions are being taken by the Senate, if the information is not provided.
Ken, we just have a few seconds left. I understand you've offered your services to all 6 ministries being investigated. Have any of them taken you up on that?
Well, we have actually talked with a couple of the ministries, and basically what we're offering is that, you know, we have standards of accountability. We have 7 standards that we think, quite frankly, will help churches stay out of this kind of predicament. It has to do with the oversight of an independent board of directors, the kind of financial documents and controls that are necessary for a ministry, conflicts of interest, which is one of the questions that Senator Grassley has been asking as well.
All right, and I should mention that CBN is a member of the ECFA.
Absolutely.
Did I say that right?
Good standing.
ECFA, right. Okay, Ken Behr with the Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability. Thanks for being with us. Mark?